Well, the difference between men and boys is the price of their toys, so they say.
Yes, they do. Except for Clayton Overton. This man has a massive collection of toys dating back to his childhood days. And you might say it's over the top. Clayton Overton's toy collection is located over the top of his former place of business.
Used to be a hardware store.
On the second floor, where for 90 years local Masonic Lodge members met.
I'm 66.
Clayton is really into brightly painted playthings made of tin.
I've got trains, I've got construction sets.
The type of toys that were very popular in the early part of the 20th century.
I love them when they haven't been played with, and I find them in the original boxes.
To find a place in Clayton's collection, a toy must be U.S. made. And the word is, his Erector set collection, Clayton's first toy, is world class.
I played with that. That was about the only real toy I had.
Over the top of his hardware store, inside display cases he made himself, Clayton continues to collect, because this is one retired 66-year-old boy who will never have too many toys. Now I want some of those. Clayton says the value of these toys goes well beyond their price tag.
I'm sure. Well, nothing is more valuable than the look on someone's face when you've gotten them that perfect gift. You know what I'm talking about. And many times it's not something they want, but rather something they need.
And there are plenty of gift options when it comes to those living with limitations. Joining us today to tell us more about it is Janet Park, who's the program manager for assistive technology from the Bay Area Center for Independent Living. Did I get that right?
You certainly did.
All of that we wrap up into calling her the Gadget Lady. Thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome. I'm so glad to come.
You got some good stuff here. What'd you bring?
I brought just a few things for ideas for people that may help them in their lives. One of them is for people who have a reading difficulty because the print is just too small.
Right.
This is a little hard to show on television, but it makes the print a lot larger. It's portable. You can take it with you to the grocery store, the pharmacy, reading menus, and so it means that your life can be more accessible to you.
Very nice. Okay. And you have a task light?
I do, and this one is a particular one, but most people don't realize if they're having problems, it could be something like this. They want to continue to crochet, they're reading, that a good task light with good lighting can make such a difference. Makes life just easier on their eyes. And then I brought along,
phone here.
Oh, isn't this cool?
I
brought a sample one. This one has kind of three types of functions. One is it has a one-button dialing by picture, by a name, or by initial. So if you have low vision, that would work really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but it also has large buttons, makes it easy to dial. And at the bottom, it has volume control so that you can make it much louder so you can hear it. It also has a speakerphone.
Why the pictures?
Because people who've had a stroke, as an example, may not remember how to dial numbers in order. They get confused and they're frustrated, and then they quit making phone calls.
But they'll recognize the face.
They recognize the face.
Okay.
So it's one option.
All right, we have some gloves here. What are those for?
I know this looks a little strange to be bringing
Got one
in.
of those in my fishing box.
Exactly. People who have diabetes, as an example, have very tender skin. They cut themselves, and so they quit making fresh vegetables and cooking things because they cut themselves.
Right.
So you put it on the non-dominant hand. Now you put that fruit or veggie here, and you cut to your heart's content because there's Kevlar in here, and you can't cut yourself.
Okay.
So it's something
Fuego.
simple that you don't think of to get from the bait and tackle store.
Talking
what
clock.
is that?
Now this one talks.
Good morning. The time is 11:05 a.m. Today is November 25th, 2014.
Oh, that's
Tuesday.
nice.
It is.
Is 70.
I know, it goes on and
It goes
on.
on and on.
But for people who can't see the clock,
Yeah.
can't see the thermometer, it's a great solution for them.
Hit the button.
Okay, now this looks like something I'd like to have.
I know, it's good for lots of people. I brought three samples here.
These are remotes, right?
These are just large remotes, and sometimes for people with some memory issues, the small one is really good because it only has a couple of buttons on it. But these others are good for people who lose things in couches.
That's
That
neat.
would be,
Or
yeah.
this one is lit, so that means that you can see the numbers clear and they're big, whereas most remotes have really, really tiny buttons. So this makes it just more accessible to a lot of people.
Great stuff for at home. What about in the car?
Oh, I have a picture of the handy bar. This is what it looks like. And the pictures are showing that this goes in and you can makes a
You just kind of jam
handle.
it in. Oh, I
That's
see.
right.
Oh, okay, so you can grab
Right.
on and get help getting out of the car.
The whole car becomes your support. And so it's a really good tool for someone who's having hip problems, knee problems, any problem getting in and out of a vehicle.
But it does so much more too.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It has a seatbelt cutter, and you can also use this end to break the glass.
if you're in a crash or something.
Exactly. So it's a good safety tool also.
All right.
Okay, so we can cut the seatbelt with that. Can we extend the seatbelt?
There's actually a connector to make it longer, but the one that I brought a sample of for the picture
Right.
is for people who have a hard time with their shoulders and can't reach that seatbelt.
yeah.
It actually is mounted on it, and you pull it, and so it's much easier to get your seatbelt on. So
Okay.
it's a small modification that can make a big difference for being able to be independent in the vehicle.
Okay, let's talk about items for the hearing impaired.
Oh, yes. One of the favorite ones, especially for wives, it seems, is husbands who want to hear the TV much louder than the rest. And this one is a TV listener, but there's several different brands. It means that the individual can hear the television at a much louder volume than the rest of the family, and so that everyone else doesn't have to hear it in the rest of the house.
Right.
And it can be used in homes, nursing homes, assisted living. So there's a lot of applications that this is really good tool.
Now that you said that, tell me real quick, what kind of things you can do to help people out there living with disability?
We have a wonderful loan program so people can try these things at their home.
Okay.
We are not selling these items. We're demoing and we're educating people on these items so that they can try them. But then I can actually get, for people who are qualified, phones. I can get free phones for people. And people that at Social Security age, it's very easy for me to get them.
So are there age restrictions?
Age 5 and up for the
5 and
phone.
up.
But for my program, I do womb to the tomb. Anybody who's in between, they have any kind of limitation, they're mine.
Okay.
And all 9 counties. And if you happen to live in Virginia or Delaware, I can send you to the right
You can
people.
still help
Thank
out.
you so much,
Thank you.
Jan. And
You're
of course, if you
welcome.
would like more information about the Bay Area Center for Independent Living and these great holiday gift ideas for those living with limitations, visit WVOC.com and click on our picture at the top of the page.
Okay, so while we are holiday shopping, let's take a trip to Angelo's Gift Shop. We're going to hear about the unique, one-of-a-kind treasures that it's got to offer and how you can personalize just about anything for this holiday season.
Looking for someone to share the holidays with? How about a new friend with a wet nose, 4 legs, and a wagging tail? We'll introduce you to some dogs and cats looking for a forever home in this week's Pet Connect.
And we are in the Delmarva Life Kitchen making a sweet treat you just cannot resist, no matter what time of year. Delmarva Life will be right back.